Thank you, Tanuk. In today's world, despite countless opportunities and freedoms we are granted, many do not enjoy such rights, and that includes children, who are the future of our communities. Anaya Fernando and Setuliti Seka will now enlighten us on this problem we as youngsters face in our communities.
There's a problem here. Tomorrow is our future, the Earth's future. In fact, every new day is part of the future. Who are we in that future? Good morning to all of you present here. Who are we? I am a child aged 16 and have got so much left to live, maybe. Our presence in the future is never certain, but at least the future is. And in that promised future, we have a crucial role to play.
It will soon be our responsibilities to take care of planet Earth and its being. Are we prepared? Are all children prepared? Access to quality education is a basic child right. If so, how is it that 35 million children in South Asia have failed to gain age appropriate pre primary education to UNICEF research in 2019? The case is undoubtedly worse when it comes to primary and secondary education.
The Daily Mirror has stated that Sri Lanka allocated less than 2% of its GDP on education, which falls well below the international benchmark of 4 to 6% of GDP and is among the lowest in the South Asia region. A statement issued by the UNICEF said,
How is it that children like I and you seems to have a less of a bright future? Not all of us children have had the chance to enjoy the right of education.
My dear friends, mark my note. Mankind will not go ahead when half of our kind is left behind. Education provides children with opportunities to be independent, work together with one another, help them build social skills, expand their knowledge, while it doesn't forget to mold children onto being valuable members to society.
Qualities such as resilience, concentrations, and patience would eventually find their way into lives of educated individuals. They will also develop cognitive skills, build emotional intelligence, and will be flexible to learn new things. This education does not necessarily mean university education, but the basic education which consists of both primary and secondary education. But the basic education which consists of both primary and secondary education, which would fulfill all of these wonders on behalf of the future that's waits to come into our hands.
Aspects like STEM education have now become essential components of the educational system, and yet only a handful of students have access to it. By bringing lessons on 2D pages to life, children tend to understand concepts better. Governments and schools with facilities can take the initiative to organize events where children in need of educational support could be facilitated with equipment and resources. This would boost the innovative skills of all children, while such programs prep the younger generation to deal with and cooperate with the fruit salad of society they're about to move into.
1 out of 8 schools have no libraries in them. This is a basic problem which raises a question about the knowledge capacity of students. These problems need solutions and they mustn't be play around with, for children are the future.
Often, stereotypes have managed to ruin it for many children. These aunties say, it's high time to keep her home. What good will these books do to you? Maybe sell them away to the corner shop man. He'll wrap the groceries up with this paper. Are you planning to make paper salad for lunch tomorrow?
And this uncle saying, Puta, come join us at the field. You will do it anyway. So start it now. How nice to them. It's frankly sad to say this, But these aunties and uncles have never discovered their purpose in life. They don't see it. They would expect nothing but the same from the rest of their children. They expect the same in the future. Social stereotypes are common obstacles out of which gender barriers stand out. May it be a girl, may it be a boy, may it be any other, but we must keep in mind that all children have the right to education, and intangible words, ideologies must never affect the world's future.
Once an individual loses their chance to learn, they lose their future. They won't die, neither will they live life the way they were meant to. They'd be stuck up at work trying all the best they can to earn for the day, fill their tummies with a meal or two. Their lives go ahead because their breath continues. And for a reason undiscovered, they wake up at dusk and sing the same song till life makes a halt. This must change.
If the society as a whole can get together, support, guide, and lead children to discover their very own potentials, uncover hidden talents, and ensure them to drive them where their passion leads them to, the world would be a better place. May it be in fields of art, agriculture, science, mathematics, or absolutely anything they desire. If they discover purpose in life, they are halfway through. Would you not want to catch a glimpse of this better world before we rest?
What if they receive no proper education? Why? Poverty. When financial problems creep in to the lives of children, survival would be more of a necessity than education. And then it starts. Children are forced to let go of education as a result of heavy family responsibilities being put over their shoulders, which then results in an increased desperation to make an earning. They need to understand the importance of education, but if they fall into labor, they would fail to do so.
As a result of this, they lose their chance to see the world out there, the very world which opens out so many opportunities to them. They would fix themselves into a frame and hereafter see the world only through this frame, which gradually develops onto nearly blinding them from seeing the truth and would prevent them from seeing the bigger picture out there. Not to forget the hundreds of waiting to benefits of Lot's children. Businessmen have their chance here where they would be more happy to recruit child laborers for lower cost and enjoy pleasures of skybound profits.
If children engage in labor at a very young age, who will take up the future? Will not have enough? Children are less likely to have time to balance a full-time job and education, so they would give away education. The decision is equal to accepting an invitation to hell when the gates of heaven are wide open. With time, these children will turn into adults, and the labor work they do will promise the day's meal and not a tomorrow. Relying on this day's meal, the cycle of burning will forever continue. No change in their financial status, but they have for sure earned enough for their employers.
Wealth difference is necessary in society, but that does not define the gap of pleasure and satisfaction in the world, which is a result of wealth disparity. As workers, children will move into society at a very young age, at an age where they will not able to differentiate what is right, what is wrong, good or bad, which leads them to being trapped by the society's predators such as human trafficking agents and so on. Does this problem do not need the world's attention?
Education and child labor are not the only problems. There's more. We've heard stories about young brides, teenage mothers, and stories that give us chills down our spine. If you have not heard these stories of misery, pain, and disaster, please be aware that this planet is not the safest for all children. You and I have been so lucky to have been protected so well by our parents and guardians. But that's not the case with every child out there.
According to the latest estimates of UNICEF, South Asia is home to 290 million child rights, the highest number in the world, accounting for 45% of global total. UNICEF said that in 2019, an estimated 115 boys and men around the world married as children on its first ever in-depth analysis of child groans. Of these, 1 in 5 children, or 23 million, were married before the age of 15. When there are 290 million child brides in South Asia, there are only 115 million child grooms globally. Young girls are forced to marry older men, while some are forced to marry young boys. Overall, more girls are being forced to marriage.
This is because girls have been brought up onto being so dependent on their fathers, brothers, husbands, and then children. Society wants dependent women, and the very same society makes dependency a reason to give girls away. But I say, why not give girls the chance to make decisions about their future? Shouldn't girls have the right to make decisions about their own bodies? Why not raise girls to be independent and brave?
The problem roots in deeper. In Rajarata region of Sri Lanka, out of 3,374 pregnant women participated in clinics. Baseline data on gestation was fully completed for 3,370 pregnant women. Of them, 254 were adolescent pregnancies, which is 7.5%. That is our country.
Society finds it embarrassing to teach girls on pregnancies. But let me tell you what is more embarrassing: the results of their embarrassment. When girls and women know very little about aspects of life like pregnancies, they have no clue onto the extent of risk they're in exposure to. So countries like ours hit records in the world when it comes to child pregnancies. World records. Awesome. So do we applaud?
These problems, like false sense, would diffuse throughout the world. If we pay no attention to it, they might overtake the peace and prosperity of Earth. Children are the future, and we must pay attention to them. If change starts here, in this very room among the youthful us, the future will for sure change.
If our attitudes and ideologies to this problem we discussed improve, they might find shelter across the globe, somewhere out of the 7 continents of Earth, and improve not only the lives of South Asian children, but all children as a whole. Our ideas might change a handful of you, but if you take our message out, another sackful might change. Do it right for children. Do it right for the future. Thank you.